In this section, we are going to connect your domain name with your online store. It's not something that you absolutely need to do now. If you want to skip and keep doing the other things before, it is totally fine. You can definitely do that. But in case you skip, also skip the part about payment gateways and Google Analytics, because it is two things that requires to have your domain name connected to your store. Also, something important to mention is that if you already have a website and you already use your domain name on this website, then when you will change your DNS, your old website won't be accessible anymore. Now it will be your .htech store that will be accessible with your domain name. So if this is your situation and you know what you're doing, then that's fine, you can keep going. But in case you are not sure and you're scared to do a mistake, you just write to us on the customer support, explain to us your situation, and we are going to advise you and tell you exactly what's the best process for you. But if you want to connect your domain, then now is a great time to do it. So let's go, let me show you how to do that. So connecting your domain means that we are going to replace the URL of our shop that is using our .tech domain at the moment, martinshop.lodr.tech. We are going to replace that by your own domain, so your own name, for example, myhouse.com or myawesome-t-shirt-brand.com. Okay, so the first thing to do is to buy a domain name. If you already have your domain name, then that's perfect. But if you don't have your domain name yet, then the first thing to do is to buy it. To buy a domain, you can use any company that you want if you already know some and you like some. If you have no idea, then two suggestions are Namecheap and GoDaddy. You can go there, search for your domain, and if it's available, then you can buy it. And if it's not, they are going to suggest alternative that you can buy. So sometimes you need to look a little bit for the perfect domain that you want to buy. Most of the .com are already taken. Somebody else has bought it before you. Go to these companies, buy your domain. Again, you can check other companies if you want. It doesn't matter at all. The only thing is that you should not buy with Ionos. If you already have your domain and you are already using Ionos, then that's okay. I would say it's too late. But if you buy a new domain, then I would recommend that you don't use Ionos. The reason is because if you use them, we can't create for you email addresses for free on .tech. This is part of all the things that .tech include, free email addresses. We can create the email addresses if you buy your domain with anyone except with Ionos. So if you buy a new domain, then do it with Namecheap or GoDaddy, for example. That is great. Then once you have bought your domain name, then go to your .tech account. You go to our website and then you click on My Account here on the top right to access your .tech account. If you are not logged in, then just log in first and then scroll down and click here on the button, click here to connect a domain name. Now, to connect your domain to your store, you will need to change the DNS settings of your domain name. So unfortunately, I can't show you much here because it depends on the company where you bought your domain name. We call them the registrar. So that's the company where we buy domain name. And each registrar has its own dashboard and its own way to manage the DNS. So for example, Namecheap is a registrar, GoDaddy is a registrar. And as there is thousands of registrars and most of the people use different ones, I really can't show you absolutely everything, but somewhere in your registrar dashboard, you will see an option to change the DNS of your domain name. If you can't find it or if you don't understand how to do that, just contact their customer support. This is something that they can do for you. So once you are into your DNS settings for your domain, then you want to do two things. You want to add two records into your DNS, a type A and a type C name. So I will show you how to do it on my domain. It might be slightly different for your registrar, but overall it will be the same thing. So here I am on the domain that I will use, maximilianblatt.com, and I am into the DNS settings for this domain. So the first thing to do is just to verify that we don't have any A record or AAA record into type here. If you see A or AAA, just delete them from your DNS. Then once this is done, you add a new record and you choose type A. Again, it's probably slightly different on your end, but overall it should be the same thing. Then into hostname, you just put the @ sign, and into points to go back to .tech website, and here you have the value. So you take this one, copy, go back and paste. Then leave it like this and then save. After that, you see for me, they created an A record with the host name www. This is not what I want, so I will delete it. But again, probably on your side, it's different. So if your registrar has done the same thing, just do like me, just delete it. Okay. Then add a second record. This time it will be a CNAME. In hostname, enter www and point to site.mydr.tech. You can go back to your .tech account and copy the value here. Okay? Copy and paste it here. Okay? Then most of the registrars will give you a preview of what it looks like, and you want something like that. Okay? You want www.yourdomain in CNAME site.mydr.tech. Okay, I have seen some registrar working slightly differently, and in preview you see something like that. So you see site.mydr.tech and then they add your domain name. So if you see something like this into your preview on your side, then it's because you just need to add a little dot at the end of site.mydr.tech. Okay, you just add a little dot here at the end like this, and then it should be able to get the proper CNAME that we want. Okay, so again, this might differ depending on which registrar you use. For me, I don't need to use this little dot at the end, so just make sure that your DNS record is like this. And if you don't understand and you don't know what to do here, then just contact your customer support on your registrar and they will tell you exactly what needs to be done. Then after we've done that, just save. And then we are good. Our CNAME has been successfully created and we have our A record and our CNAME exactly like the information we have on .tech. Okay, so that's great. And we also made sure that we have no A or AAA records in our DNS. So perfect. And then the last thing to do is just to use this little form here to connect your domain to your store. So you just add your domain into the first field, then you select your store in the dropdown and you click connect. Then you just need to wait a few minutes for your domain to get connected. So it's possible that it takes 2, 3, 4 minutes. Just wait, don't close the page and it will be fine. Okay, perfect. Now our domain is connected to our store. One thing that is slightly different from what you were doing before, it is how to log in into your store and access the dashboard. So I will just show you how to do it now. You can find the information just below here in the FAQ, how to log into your store after connecting your domain name. The short answer is that now you need to log in your store directly on your My Account page. You can't log into .tech and then go to your store and access the dashboard. That doesn't work anymore. Now you need to log into your store directly. You don't need to log into .tech anymore. So let's do that. I will go to my store, and if I refresh the page now, we see that now we have our domain name. So perfect. But as you can see, I can't access the dashboard. It's because we are logged out, so I need to log in first. So go to My Account. For me, it's into my menu here. I can access it directly from here. In case you removed your My Account page from your menu, then all you have to do is just to add My Account like this after your domain name to go directly to this page. Okay, so you just do that. You go to this URL. Now we are on the My Account page and you can just load in here. And that's it. Now we are logged into our store. We can access the dashboard. And from now on, as we have our domain name, this is how it works to log in to your store. You don't need to go to .tech anymore and log in there. You can do it directly on your store. That's it for this section on connecting your domain name. Now let's keep going to the next one.